Good morning, guys, and welcome to today's episode of Market Check, brought to you by BB. There is no second best daily YouTube live stream to talk about markets. Welcome, guys. Let's have a great Friday. Close this week out strong. We've got quite a bit to talk about, as I'm sure you are already aware. Jerome Powell went to speak in front of, I guess, the entire world, because now the entire world has to pay attention to these press conferences and these macro events as if they are sporting events. But in the wake of that, I'm sure we'll have some volatility today over the next few weeks that we will make sure to discuss. But first, I'm Snorlax. You guys also know me as Tommy. I'm joined by Max Tucker and Louie. Welcome, guys. I hope you've all had a great week thus far. I'd love to say that we've had a ton of volatility, throughout this week, but that would be a lie, right? At least for crypto, we've been very much compressed within a range, as we've discussed almost ad nauseum. But soon, I'm sure we will be discussing, where we think these coins are going to be trading here over the next few days, where we think equities are going to be trading soon, and of course, the implications of everything that Jerome Powell had to say today. But before we can do that, I'm going to ask if you guys can smash the like button. It is Friday, after all. If there is a day for us to hit the like button, why not the last day of the week before we head off into the weekend? And hopefully the market, or maybe you're looking for a little bit of volatility this weekend, right? Maybe you're trying to stay by the screens, but right before we can head over into the weekend, if you guys can smash that like button for us, we would be very, very appreciative. But talking about the market and, of course, Big Daddy Chairman Powell, right? I mean, it seems like the Fed more or less declared victory it seems like they are accepting the fact that we've had a soft landing. And I'm sure there will be lots of macro debate about the veracity of that. And, of course, whether or not the Fed is able to declare victory or if that's something that history can do. But, at least over the last 2 years, it really does seem as though the Fed has done a great job at hitting their mandate, right? Inflation has come down. They've protected. It seems like the job market has been insulated enough from the measures that they have taken to declare a soft landing. Although I guess we'll find out in a few months whether or not the employment statistics, how valid those are. But for now, you definitely have to give Chairman Powell credit. It seems as though the market initially is reacting in kind to that. So we will see how the market digests, of course, what Powell said this morning. And really, I think equity markets will be a big tell, of course, risk as well. Bitcoin and crypto are kind of all over the place this morning. We're back at levels not seen since New York Open. It was funny. We had a big pump to start. We had a big sell-off, and now we're right back to where we started the session. So I'm hoping that we get some clarity here over the next few days, but realistically, I do not have too high of expectations, right? I guess we'll find out. But either way, guys, I'd love to know what y'all are seeing in the market, kind of what y'all are thinking in the wake of what Jerome Powell said. I'll be honest, I really didn't get to hear any of it because I didn't realize that it was so early in the morning. But I did get to read a few snippets on Twitter. Of course, Nick, I don't really know how to say his last name, the Greek guy, Timiros, or am I saying it right? But the Fed Whisperer, quote unquote.
Nicky T.
Nicky T. I like that better. That sounds like something Louis would say, but
Nicky T.
Nicky T. Yeah, I got some good snippets from him. So we'll see how the market digests this at the end of the day, because that's really the only thing that matters, right?
Yes, indeed, that is the only thing that matters. And we had a nice little Powell pump, guys. We had a nice little Powell pump. I was drawing this out last night. It's just like, downtrend, uptrend, simple stuff. Obviously I had the whole the whole triangle thing drawn, as I'm sure pretty much everybody did. Oh, study the breakout retest, blah blah blah. Like that was I'm still in that camp, actually. I'm still in that camp, but Let's just do that. Okay. It just none of it matters until we break 62K, really. None of it matters. And to the downside, I think those are really the only two levels that matter on the chart. Right? I think you break that, you rip, you break this, you probably drop to like here, right? You probably do one of those.
We got some liquidity down there.
Yeah, so that's
If we do see some scammer, yeah.
I mean, I could also see like, right?
Yes. That's
Just as
usually what happens.
long, yeah. As long as you're not breaking 59s, I think you're fine. And if you're bearish, as long as you don't break 62, I think you're fine. If you're bearish. But other than that, I don't think anything that happens in here matters in the slightest. It just doesn't. It just doesn't matter. But yeah, that's kind of my Bitcoin take. I mean, Powell's done a great job, guys. Powell truly has done a great job. He inverted the bird and he landed her safely in an open field. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Right in the Hudson.
The soft landing, guys.
What's that movie
Soft
called?
landing.
With Tom Hanks.
Mm-hmm.
When they land the plane in the Hudson.
I haven't seen it though.
Huh?
The movie where he the plane in the Hudson. I know the movie you're talking about, but I haven't seen it.
Yeah. But I don't remember what that quote is from though. I don't remember what that quote is from, honestly. Where the guy's like, I inverted the bird and I landed her safely in an open field. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't, but I feel like pilot speak has a lot of different buzzwords in there. So you got to give her a wide berth.
I mean, that's what Jerome Powell has done with this economy. He had one engine blown out, right? He inverted her and he softly landed. I mean, that's kind of where we're at. Like, job market, not bad, not terrible yet, at least. Inflation down, equities up, GDP's fine. I mean, he did his job. He did his job, guys. So
I think the interesting thing about it is how does history kind of remember this moment, right? Like the Fed almost declaring victory. Is it too soon to be able to declare victory, or is this just the Fed's job and, whatever happens now, it's up to the market?
I mean, like, I don't think victory for him is avoiding, like, I think we're going to have a recession regardless at some point, right? But I think in terms of the last like 3 years, he's been able to get inflation down while holding employment and equities in which I understand it's not his mandate to keep equities elevated, but it really is low key. It really is. So I feel like he's done a good job, but that doesn't mean his actions are not going to have consequences like next year, right? But
yeah. No, and that's true. I think like the interesting thing to me about it is a lot of the declaration of victory is based on the labor statistics, which we don't even know if those are legit. So I don't want to dwell on that too much because I do agree. I think as a whole, he's done a great job, but he is, I guess, just working off the data that they have presented to them. But if that data is falsified in any way, what does that mean? I guess we'll find out. But yeah, no, I mean, I don't really know the history of Fed chairs that well to be able to know is this the first time or not that we've seen kind of something like this where you have the Federal Reserve declaring a victory essentially or not. But yeah, I mean, nobody's rooting for a recession to occur at the end of the day. So yeah, it does seem like Powell did a great job as a whole. I don't want to give him too much credit yet, but yeah, no, good for Powell. Good for the U.S. economy.
Yeah,
I feel like identified a few people that are like actually rooting for a recession.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Why
Like,
would you for a legitimate recession though? Like,
because you're a coping sidelining bear and you've been wrong for 18 months. I'm not even trying to be a dick, but like there's a handful of like big accounts that I follow that after the, the pullback of, in 2022, they never flipped their bias. They've had the same opinion on the market since literally like the bear market bottom. And they never, this entire time, have never flipped. And they've been saying that, all these mega cap tech companies are destroyed. They are effed. And we are about to see basically like 1928, 1929, Great Depression again. And this is the everything bubble. And it's all going to implode. That's what they've been saying. And they never once looked at market structure and said, maybe we're in an uptrend. And maybe we're ripping face. I should flip my bias. And they've literally said on every pullback, they go, see, I told you, this is it. I mean, it is beyond clownery. It is so like, I mean, any sane individual like recognizes that whenever we have a recession, more people die. People lose their jobs. People lose their homes. People suffer. More people literally die during recessions. Like more people
that's true.
Die when there are recessions. And there are people out there that care more about wanting to be right on some macro doomer thesis than literally wanting people to just have decent lives. Because you know who's really affected by the recession? It's not the rich people. It's not the rich people. You're like over there, a multimillionaire on Twitter, telling everybody how the uninversion of the yield curve is going to trigger a giant recession with unemployment above 9%. And this is the everything bubble. And NVIDIA's fucked. And you're praying because your ego is so big that we get a global recession. And literally the implication of that is that you're praying that people die so that you can be right.
Lose money.
It's like that scene from The Big Short where I don't remember any of their names in it, but it's the Brad Pitt actor, and they're celebrating the fact that they placed the trade, and he's like, "Just don't fucking dance."
The Big Short.
Yeah.
He dropped that stat. Yeah, he drops the stat.
Yeah,
that, like people die. Like,
I don't know what the stat is, but I've seen the stat. Like I've seen the stat.
Can't be a bear inherently for that reason. It's just like, yeah, every now and again I'll take a short. Yeah, I'll take a little euro scalp short. But like to inherently be a bear means that I rather be the only one right, and I'd rather everyone else lose all their money. Like,
dude, that's what it is, Louis. That's what it is, man.
Dude,
it's like
it's not easy either. It's not easy to be bearish, guys. We were extremely bearish this whole let me fucking there. The whole time until like right here.
Do you know how tough of a life it is trying to be
terrible.
a bear? Betting on things going wrong and like the market it's programmed to go up. It's literally swimming upstream. Like look at the S&P 500 on like a 10-year time frame. Like it doesn't, even if it nukes for a little bit, they just program it to go up. Like what do you want to like? Everybody's looking for like the next Enron, like everybody just there's a weird human fascination with like shit going wrong. That's why serial killers become famous, and it's why Netflix continues to sort of like glamorize serial killers and like horror stories and stuff like that. These docuseries, right? People love watching like a car crash. Okay. And there's some people that they have that mindset for financial markets. They want the system to implode. And they want to be the one to call it out, and they want to benefit when everybody else is suffering. I could never be me, man. It could never be me. I will be bearish at one point, but I will short in silence. Okay, I will short in silence, and then maybe I'll get loud at the end. But
I don't think you can be a successful bear unless you can appreciate like what you're rooting for, right? Like Because if you just approach it from like a pure place of constant cynicism, then you're just going to keep shorting until you literally blow yourself up. Right.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of my view on being bearish and shorting, because if you're just explicitly bearish, it's very easy to spiral into just being a doomer. And doomers always blow up, man, unless you're like Michael Burry and you stomach like 90% drawdown and eventually hit the trade.
Dude, that's crazy. Yeah. It's you know what I think the disease of the mind is with perma bears is they think that they know something that the rest of us don't. You know, they're like, it's like the tether fudders. They're like, oh, tether's a scam, and it's like, okay, like we got you. You know, yeah, we were all with you, and then they cleaned it up, and now they're important. You know, you don't like have information that the rest of us don't have. You know, we all know fiat's a Ponzi. We all know it's a bubble. You know, but then there are two camps. There are those that don't invest because it's a Ponzi and it's a bubble, and then there are those that must invest because it's a Ponzi and a bubble. We all know the information.
Don't get me started on tether fudders, man. Don't get me started on those guys. The worst kind of bears that you can possibly find. Like Bitfinex. the worst type of people.
Whose account is that, Tommy? Do we know whose account that is?
I don't think it's actually Nomad's account, but there is some of a link there. I don't think it's Nomad though. I'll be honest.
I think there was an accidental tweet at one point, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Is that something we don't talk about though?
Some things better left unsaid.
Yeah. All right. Anyways, to me, this feels like there's a dam that's about to break, and it's the top of this little micro range. And I feel like that little local Jeet this morning was just like, it's just someone getting liquidated. Honestly, that caused the spike to 62.5 or whatever. And I feel like we're going to go up because I'm looking at the Russell up 3.25 today, guys.
It's up 3.25
the Russell
now.
Is up 3.25 today.
The weekly.
So I asked the question. Hang on. I'm going to ask the most important question that any man can ask a panel of his friends. What are we even talking about?
I knew you were going to ask that, and I can't answer it.
The reason I ask it is because Bitcoin has never gone into price discovery or a parabola without the Russell also being in price discovery. It's never happened in the history of crypto. So I ask, the Russell up 3.25 today. Who's lying? Is the Russell lying, or is Bitcoin just kind of taking its time?
Alerts have been set, Max. Alerts have been set.
Our alts will be a lot higher by the time we get up there.
All right, we got VIX red. Dixie nuking. Absolutely falling off a cliff.
It's over.
I thought we'd see some bounce at least.
Okay, we are at range low, but if you draw a diagonal line, Tucker, from like the low of that range, that is cooked to the barbecue. Cooked.
Yeah. I mean, even if you, it's
Chiseled
really
hard, man. I mean, it is seasoned, burned to a crisp. It is cooked.
Yeah.
It's like those sausages you made when we were in Colorado, Tucker. You remember those?
No, of course.
Someone left them on the grill a little too long. Cooked.
Yeah.
Some burnt sausages.
I basically just drowned it in ketchup, but I mean, it's fine.
It worked out.
Yeah, it worked out.
Yeah. What else
Things
do we
cooked.
have?
Yeah.
It's painting a McDonald's M.
What is?
The dollar.
Yeah, it is. Just that.
And that's why our assets will go up. Like people like forget, they get caught up in the day-to-day nonsense. But at the end of the day, we buy thanks, Alan. We love you, Alan. But the reason why people buy assets is because the dollar or our currency is a depreciating asset at this point in time. Like they're going to continue to print and the dollar's value is going to continue to drop. So the only way to fight that, and the only way to keep and hold on to your wealth, or even create wealth in that matter, is to invest in assets that will appreciate against the dollar. Hence Bitcoin. And hence beta to Bitcoin is altcoins. Hence gold breaking out, price discovery, all-time highs. Like that's the story. That's the macro story. Like when you get into crypto, at least when I got into crypto, like 2018, fresh out of college, I didn't know crap about economics. I didn't know anything. I was interested in investing. I liked the idea of it. But then you invest in Bitcoin and you go down that rabbit hole, and then you learn, okay, what's Bitcoin? What's a blockchain? What's a hard asset? What's a cap supply? What's inflation? And then you go down this rabbit hole. You learn all these economics. You learn about the dollar and how money works and how the whole system works. At the end of the day, the dollars and our currencies always fail. Every major currency has failed in every dynasty in history of the world. And that's what we're seeing now. So the only thing we can do as citizens at this point is to invest in assets that aren't going to depreciate like the dollar will. Hence, you buy stocks, you buy productivity in companies, and then you buy proof of work, electric work, Bitcoin mining. You invest in gold, a hard asset. It's hard to get. You have to put a lot of work to get into it. So that's the idea. That's the macro idea, and that's why bears they'll have their day in the sun every now and again, and they'll take their victory laps. At the end of the day, the trend is up and to the right on the correct assets, because the currencies are going to oblivion, and that's the point.
Yeah, your primary objective as an investor is to, I mean, you don't want to just be treading water forever, right? Like you kind of have to invest. Otherwise it's a certain death. It's a certain poverty, I'm going to steal the screen for a second, Tucker, because I have to show you guys the most encouraging chart in crypto right here. You know what this little chart here is? This is the little chart that could. This is others' dominance. Okay. Now, something that we do every single cycle is we do this little song and dance right before Bitcoin goes into price discovery. Okay. So let's mark out the previous all-time highs for Bitcoin. Previous cycle was right here. Everybody focus up. This is important, because this is what your future has in store for you, in my never humble opinion.
It's written in the stars.
It was written in the stars. Dude, he is probably having a horrible day.
Terrible day.
That was a big position, man.
He doubled the size of it.
Dude, actually. He was at 44 million notional last night.
He's partially closed and scared right now.
Has to.
For sure. No doubt.
I mean,
zero doubt.
Not even dissing. It's literally just like I hope he got out.
I feel that gut wrench.
Mm-hmm.
Like we've all been on the wrong side of a squeeze before. Like I've never been on one with 44 million in notional size, but I know the feeling. I hope he got out okay. He doubled down.
Oh, that's a
He's at 88 million. Are you sure?
Honestly, if he did, I kind of have to respect the conviction.
Bro, no way he doubled down. I don't think he has dude, 88. No way.
I can't imagine him being that much on a Bybit.
You'd see him on the open interest profile at this point. Like that's.
I mean, I could check real quick.
Yeah, find him, Tommy.
I don't think that's real, man. I don't.
Depends on what he added to. If it's Bitcoin and ETH, I probably can't pick it up. But if he added the Solana, I might be able to pick that up.
So, guys, something that others' dominance does every single cycle. Here's Bitcoin down below. I'll put Bitcoin in orange for you guys. I made a video on this a while ago, and granted, it's taken a little bit to play out here. But here's others dominance. So this is like think of this as a pie chart. When the percentage of this goes up, that means your altcoins are stealing market share from Bitcoin. And something that it does every cycle is it puts in a high time frame, high or low, right as Bitcoin is trying to figure out if it's going to go into price discovery or not. And then Bitcoin goes up into price discovery, once it bounces out of this kind of like golden pocket, putting in a higher low. And then basically your altcoins just rip face, right? And what I'm going to show you here is the most important part of this, right? So here's Bitcoin dominance. Look at what's happened to Bitcoin dominance every cycle so far when others dominance has put in this little dance, right? High time frame, higher low. Bitcoin goes into price discovery, and would you look at this? Boop. Can I get a boop? How about one more? Boop.
Oh man.
And I asked the panel a question. What are we even talking about? Please answer it. Somebody, I beg you. Boop. Please answer it.
Yeah, we're talking about.
That's the noise that Bitcoin dominance is going to make. It's going to go, beep. Here's the chart. It's just data. If you're mad at the chart, then you're mad at data. If you're mad at what I'm saying, then you're mad at numbers. Are you mad at numbers, Anon? Are you mad at numbers? Are you as a man mad at numbers and math?
Why? Why?
I'll sit here until somebody answers the question. What are we talking about?
What are we talking about, Max?
Bro, what is Dinesh talking about? Thought he was always angry. Is that my reputation is just being angry all the time?
That's what we're talking about right there.
Someone's got to be the boss.
I'm not angry all the time. I might be pissed at the market, but that's about it.
Yeah. I mean, I can't wait till we're full on bull. Like, there's nothing like it. There's nothing like it.
Dude, we've waited long enough, Louis. It's time, bro.
That's what I'm saying. And it's going to make it 10 times better. You know what I mean? If we just got the bull and that was it, like not much chop, but like 6 months of consolidation, and then we start just pumping, like all our bags start pumping, like it's just going to be immaculate vibes.
I just can't wait to sit on my hands and refuse to press a button.
Yeah.
And then be rewarded.
Isn't that what we've been doing, Max? That's what I've been doing.
Bro, what?
I have been refusing. Well, I've been pressing green buttons, but no reds.
Yeah.
Me too, man.
You just check your 24-hour like P&L for the day. Like you check it in the morning, check it at night, put a smile on your face. You go to bed. You wake up.
Updating
P&L,
with your tokens that you somehow yielded over the course
somehow yielded. Yeah. Right now, it's not check your P&L for like a week season.
No.
I mean, look at others, man. Look at the loggles.
I like that, actually.
Dude,
I've never seen that chart.
You can't make that up. Look at that retest.
Look at the loggle retest with the macro golden pocket. You want me to zoom in? What?
Dude, unbelievable.
What are we talking about?
I mean, that's the bull flag of bull flags. I'm sorry, but it is.
Yeah. There's your all-time high.
Of bull flags.
Yeah.
Tucker,
oh shoot! I gotta. Yeah, it's 10:30. I gotta hop on a call, boys. Somebody take over.
Mr. CFO.
I got business to take care of. You guys,
Mr. CFO. All right. See you, Tucker. There it is. And then there were 3. All right. Well, we got Louis's chart up. Louis,
what you gonna cook for us?
Cook?
cook up a little stew.
Louis, you've got bad Wi-Fi, by the way. It's laggy.
It's been so bad. I've been trying to fix it. You know what it is? Is the baby's room is where the router is. So I got one of those like EMF blockers.
Yeah.
And it just totally messes with the Wi-Fi. So it's like,
you know what we do, man.
My baby EMF.
You know what we do about that is we turn the power off at night when we sleep.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But yeah. So am I grainy right now? Am I able to cook or?
No, you're good. It's just sometimes when you talk, it's not a big deal.
All right.
But sometimes when you talk, your mouth doesn't line up with your words. But it's not too bad. Like I've seen much, much worse. It's really not bad.
All right. Well, let me know if it gets worse. I can go take the router out of its cage.
You're good. But Louis, I have a question though, because when I look at this chart right here, this appears to be a bullish chart, but also at the same time, it's pretty clear that like we're entering the world's greatest recession because unemployment's at 4.3% and the yield curve is uninverting. And I'm just trying to understand why you would draw a bullish chart when Bitcoin's about to go to 8K. So like, is it satire or like, what are you doing?
So all of this was like Bitcoin knew years ago that there was recession on the horizon. And it priced that in during 2021, end of 2021 and 2022. Markets are forward looking. And then the recent, macro news we got was here. We priced it in on a weekly candle, and it got bought back up within that same week. And now we're looking to the upside. So, markets are forward looking. Nothing has changed with our currency. Like I was saying earlier, they're going to be printing money. M2, like I think this global M2 is still in price discovery at this point in time. And, with everything that's going on, lowering interest rates, like it's just going to be the same old song and dance. So hard assets and capped assets that have a finite supply are likely going to continue to grind higher against their USD pairs. And that's exactly what this chart looks like it's gearing up to do. It literally looks like the dollar is going to puke to the downside, and then assets like Bitcoin and gold and other things are going to break out to the upside against that USD notional value. And that's exactly what this looks like to me, this weekly chart. I was just staring at this chart last night. And I was just like looking at it. I was like, what are people like Max says, like, what are we talking about? Like,
it's a good question.
Like this just looks so bullish to me. Why do I see two Tommies?
Yeah, I was wondering the same thing. That's kind of wild.
But
my VPN off and my internet went down. That's probably it. We'll remove the fake Snorlax.
That's so funny.
I like them. Let's put them back up.
It's kind of creepy. That's the other dimension of Tommy, wherever you were on your VPN. But I mean this is as bullish as a weekly chart gets. I mean, you have your upside from like literally our accumulation lows here. Put in a beautiful base down here, beautiful base. Broke out of that. What was our percentage gain from like, let's say like around here? We did like 200%. Like on Bitcoin. Like, don't tell me that there's no opportunity in Bitcoin, because I know a lot of people come into this space, they don't buy Bitcoin because I'm not going to make a lot of money. I mean, I bought Bitcoin at 17.5K and I sold it at 60K. What is that, like a 3x, a 3.5x, like off Bitcoin, off the asset that no one's going to make money off of? So like, there's always opportunity in Bitcoin. It's still a strong horse and a fast horse in this game, but. And we did get consolidation after that giant 200-300% gain off the lows. And you want to see these consolidations because this is where you reaccumulate, buyers and sellers exchange hands, and the market kind of takes its breath here before continuing higher. If we just kept going up, up, and up, we would have gassed out probably earlier than if we didn't get this consolidation. So the fact that we're getting this consolidation is going to give us even a bigger leg higher, which is good. I mean, I know in the short term, it sucks. We have to wait. We have to be patient. Our altcoins kind of bleed against that. But the fact that we got it, in hindsight, it is good. It's healthy for the market. It washes out a lot of kind of like the weak-handed participants, and that's what these consolidations are designed to do. But I mean, this weekly chart is just extremely bullish to me. That wick low we put in, it's probably going to be the low for this market cycle. I really don't see us breaking that wick low. If we do, I think we have, we're going to break the Bitcoin 4-year cycles that we've been seeing over the last 12 years. So we have bigger things on our hands to worry about. So yeah, I mean, I just can't not be bullish on this weekly chart.
Louis, do you adhere to the old slogan of the longer the base, the higher into space?
I do.
You're a believer in that.
I'm a believer in that. Yeah, I love big rounding bases, because I know a good bottom when I see one.
I was waiting for.
I saw you smiling, Tommy. But yeah, no, like look at this nice base we put in, and then look at the expansion once we broke out of it. This was like, how long was this? I mean, this sucked. I know we were here for this. I don't know about a lot of the viewers. I don't know if they came in later. From this point, this is 511 days of a bear market, and that's where you kind of put in your base. You put in your work, and you had multiple opportunities to buy this sub 20K. And then once you do break out of these bases, you get your big expansion moves to the upside, which we did. We saw a 200% pump just exiting from this this lower base that we put in. So same concept here. The fact that we have 6 months of this bull flag consolidation, this is going to fuel our next leg higher. And I have these yellow dots here, and that's highlighting, these are untapped highs. So people have shorts probably, and they're still holding these shorts with their stop losses or the liquidation levels above these highs. So, once we do start heading back towards those levels, these liquidations on these shorts, or these people closing their shorts or covering their shorts, once we get close to these levels, is what's going to propel us even higher. So, I mean, I just can't be bearish. Like I'm a bull. I mean, I know I come on here every week and I'm bullish, but I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. I am.
And fortunately, Louis, you can see that liquidity on the heat maps when you look at BB Terminal, from what I can see right now. So that there is verifiable proof that there is a lot of liquidity in each of those highs.
Yeah, I love that heat map feature on the terminals. Playing around with that, but I mean, like as a price analyst and technician, if you're good, you'll know where it is. You don't need the heat map, but the heat maps also, it tells you exactly how much, which is even better. But a good price analyst, price action trader will know where that liquidity lies just by looking at the chart, like a naked chart. So, but yeah, I mean, Bitcoin weekly.
Louis, talk to me about some altcoins, man. Talk to me about some altcoins.
Okay, let's look at Pepe.
Look at Pepe. All right.
Pepe on regular.
Oh man, he's frozen.
Man down.
He's gone. He's gone. Oh, there he is.
Uh-oh.
I see you now, Louis.
All right, we're back. Okay.
We're back.
Yeah, so I mean, this looks like a possible local double bottom here on Pepe, in my opinion. I gave the shout out on Friday when we were making this low to our Discord members. I was like, this is kind of our line in the sand here, for this to be a local bottom, and that's kind of where we held. We held this low, and we kind of made somewhat of like a local double bottom. But we have to reclaim this level here. We have to get back above this level. Once we get back above here, we're bullish again. You know what I mean? Like we still have work to do. But as of now, you know, we held where we needed to hold. And as long as the market could swing in the right direction here and you know, and give us some backup here, you know, we reclaim this level. I think it's back to bull mode for Pepe. And that goes with the rest of the boys club, which obviously we're all very bullish on here at BB. So, you know, Pepe looks good. Same thing with Andy. I shared this chart. I actually tweeted this chart out last night. But I mean, I'm seeing a lot of similarities to what I saw back here. This is when I was originally getting into Andy, literally in this range right here. All this price action was when I was coming into Andy. And I'm feeling very similar vibes and seeing very similar things in the chart with Andy here. And I think we are coming to a point where we maybe deviate this trend line here, get back above and then go. But like I'm seeing a lot of similarities here, and a lot of what I do is just pattern recognition, like seeing something that happened before and then watching for possible scenarios for it to play out again. And I could see Andy playing out similar to what we saw here. You know, it looks very similar. We have our head and shoulders top that everyone was calling, all the Andy haters back then. And then I know me and Max are like, nah, this is probably going to be a failed head and shoulders top. You know, we got back above that shoulder and then bang, you know what I mean? So same thing, but on a larger scale this time, right? We have our larger shoulder, our larger head, and our larger shoulder here. And basically what I'm looking for, same thing, just on a larger scale, is for us to get back above the shoulder, reclaim, and then it's game on for Pepe. I mean, not for Pepe, for Andy, and also Pepe, obviously. Because
Louis, I don't know if you saw this. I tweeted this out this morning. Like, I see people in the comments and they're like, oh, like Pepe, no, Brett, no, Andy, no, like, you know, they're like, my meme's better.
Yeah, it's all the same.
I mean, here's the thing, guys. Like, you could have allegiance to a certain meme. Maybe you like the colors of it. Maybe you like the memes themselves. I'm just here to present you with the data that what you're really trading is Forex. You're trading more marketable Forex. What you're trading is currency pairs that all derive from ETH. And I'm just telling you, like, to debate, you know, whether my meme is better than your meme is like, I mean, it's literally mid-curve, right? It's like the most mid-curve thing you can do. Left curve is like, they're all going to do well. Right curve is they're all going to do well for different reasons than the left curve, right? But here's the data. Like, the big one moves first, and then the smaller one moves last. So, like, when are your memes going to go? Pepe is going to lead off of the low again, just like it led off the low last time. And then similarly, look at Pepe topped, right? Pepe led off of the low, and then it topped first. And then all these other ones topped after. Look at the chain of command here, right? Like, the dates are lined up perfectly, okay? Like, look at this. Pepe pumps, then Brett pumps, then Andy pumps, then Wolf pumps.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And then look at the tops. Look at the tops. Pepe tops, and then Brett kind of had like a little blow off and stuff like that, so it kind of got out of sync, but pretty close. Pepe tops, Brett tops, Andy tops, Wolf tops, right? Like, it's just a beta train, right? So it's like that argument of like, I don't like your meme. Dude, save it for, like, literally that's the most mid-curve, like, horrible take of all time. Like, look at these numbers. It's just data.
It's a waste of time.
The memes, they never mattered. The memes never mattered. The memes make it marketable and fun, right? They breed loyalty. It's Forex pairs.
Yeah.
I don't like your meme. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, seriously, what the fuck are you talking about? I don't like your meme. Okay, well, how does your meme trade against other memes and against its L1? Is it reflexive? Is the holder count growing? How does it top and how does it bottom against majors? My meme is better than your meme. I don't like your meme. That's like, it's beyond the left curve is what it is. Like, you've gone into full, like, I wear 2 masks in my car when I drive alone mode. That's what you've done. Because An intelligent investor would look at this chart, would look at the data and go, I recognize what I'm actually trading here. It's not about my opinion of the meme. It's not how I feel about it. There's no subjectivity to the matter.
Market don't give a shit.
It's data. It's currency pairs. It's Forex with funny pictures.
Yeah.
That's all that it is. My meme is better than your meme. Brother.
Yeah.
It's some kindergarten argument bullshit is what it is. Look at, here's the data. If you are mad at this data, then you are mad at math. If these correlations break, I'll be the first one to bail on it and say something messed up here. As of right now, everything's perfectly intact.
Like there's got to be algos that are pushing this, right? It's just like and that's what it looks like to me. I mean, I know obviously retail is pushing these as well, the timing, but I feel like the algos have to start it. You know what I mean? Like they start the move and then like retail steps in. Like how does that work?
1 second. I'm sorry. Someone just. Sorry, say that again, Louis. You said why does it work the way that it does?
No, so I'm saying it looks as if it's algorithmically done. You know what I mean? Like it looks as if like there's algos that are like they trade Pepe and then like they'll go down these like type of like beta plays and then they'll take turns pushing each one as they go. Like how does that do you know how that works? I mean, that's what it looks like to me. Obviously retail steps in and finishes it and pushes these higher. But it looks as if like the algos are set up to like kind of jump from one to another and take turns kind of just like pushing these up.
You are not incorrect. So a lot of trading these days is algorithmically driven. On centralized exchanges, it's a lot of market making, of course, and then more sophisticated individual traders that actually trade with it themselves. But also on chain, like a lot of the day-to-day volume on these tickers comes from bots. It comes from algos running constantly. And you have, really two types of on-chain traders, which is like most people buying Pepe, Brett, Andy Wolf are just going to buy it on-chain, right? They're going to have MetaMask or Coinbase Web3 wallet, and they're just going to swap ETH into, again, these currency pairs. ETH goes into Pepe, ETH goes into Brett, ETH goes into Andy, ETH goes into Wolf, right? So you're buying it with ETH. And if you're not buying it with ETH, then you're buying it with stable coins that are, again, another currency pair of ETH, being Tether or USDC. So if you just look at how much daily volume comes from these bots rather than like a guy like me who's actually logging into his app and executing the order, I mean, it's a majority at this point. Like it's a majority. So what happens is these bots, they have specific triggers, like when to swap ETH for one of these currency pairs, when to swap one of the currency pairs for ETH. And a lot of it is liquidity parameters. How liquid is it? What's the float looking like how much available supply is sitting on these dexes? How much is ETH up or down? How much is something like Pepe up or down? There's a whole bunch of sophisticated metrics that trigger these bots. Okay. So when things start moving, right, the first thing that's going to move is going to be something like Pepe, right? Because it's got the most attention, it's got the most liquidity. There's a gorillion, bots and algos trading it all the time, and then it moves further down the chain, right? It's really as simple as that. Like it goes, ETH moves first, then Pepe moves, then Brett, then Andy, then Wolf. And it's all just a big web of interconnectivity. And some of it is bots. A lot of it's bots, but a lot of it is guys like me. I would say like a more educated investor base that go, I know what my trigger is to get giga long beta. As soon as I see ETH break 2,800, I'm going to shove 6 figures into beta. And then you have that, right? And then my move of, hey, I'm going to bid Andy because, ETH flipped 2,800 and that's how I'm making my bullish bet on ETH. When I do that, then it's going to send price higher. And then the bots are going to start firing because suddenly Andy's up 12%. And that's a trigger. When Andy's up 10% and it comes at the same time as ETH being up 2%, then we're going to swap more ETH for a currency pair called Andy, right? So it's a whole chain of command. But yeah, it's an amazing interconnected web. And You know, people can voice their opinions and their concerns subjectively about memes and argue about colors and how funny and cool they are, or they can treat them like what they really are, which is forex currency pairs that are more marketable and have images attached to them. Because you know what? Nobody on the face of the planet has a dying allegiance to Euro USD. Nobody, like, who out there is like a Euro USD maxi? I found some Andy maxis. I found some Pepe maxis. I found some Brett maxis. I found Wolf maxis. No one out there is a Japanese yen yen USD maxi, right? So when you break it down and you start to actually understand what you're trading, it takes all the emotions out of it, and that's the important thing. That's why I see some of these goofballs arguing on Twitter. They're fighting over memes, and I'm like, how could you as a man literally like fight another man about his meme? Like, you're not doing the research. Yeah. Your research is like, I saw some guy's tweet and it made me angry or it made me happy. That's not research. Like, do the number. Like, look at the charts. Yeah. Do the research.
That's I feel like CT has always been like that. Like, people would rather waste time doing that than like picking up a textbook and learning TA or learning how to or buy a course and actually study and put in the work and get better. They'd rather just argue about their cult's cartoon character. So
it's like
that's why we do this, right? To educate everybody.
I have a really old. Sorry, Louis, keep going.
No, you're good. No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I have a really old tweet that I said back in the day. It was I'm not going to buy your meme coin, but here's why you should buy mine.
Yeah. That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
All right, let's read some comments here. What do we got? You guys are active today. You're making me go way back.
What are the likes looking like?
That's a good question. I have not checked.
Y'all better start panicking.
Yeah, y'all better panic. Like, we're coming.
Look at the comments, man. Look at the comments. Whiff is better. Brett's better. Pepe's better. Come on.
Y'all are just proving our point.
Is Max?
What's that?
The best meme coin to make generational wealth. Do you know what it is?
I don't know. What?
It's the like button. And it seems the comment section is egregiously underexposed to it, unfortunately.
All right.
Just put AK in Wolf. It's all I have. Jesus, bro.
Soybean time.
Oh, soybean.
Soybean time. Also, someone said, yo, Max, my girlfriend told me you look like Karem Burson.
Who's that?
I don't know who that is.
It's a compliment.
I hope so. I don't know what he looks. Well, let's find
I don't even know who this is, but
Max said it looked like Vin Diesel this weekend, so
he's a Turkish
cool.
actor.
Someone there was another actor someone said that I looked like.
He's in Sharktopus.
Okay, wait, I kind of see it with like this picture a little bit. Hang on. I'll put it up on the screen. Maybe. I don't know. I feel like you guys, there was another guy. I could see this a little bit.
Oh, wow. I see it.
Yeah,
you see it? Do you guys see it? Does it look like me?
I think so.
He's
Max starring role in Sharktopus on the Sci-Fi Network.
Dude, I can't do that. Sharktopus.
Hey, honestly, if we keep ranging sideways, you might have to, Max.
I think this is the best one yet. I can't remember his name. Someone said I look like someone else as well.
Was it Fassbender that you're thinking?
Yeah, it was Michael Fassbender. Here, let me
say I look like Vitalik, so you're doing better than me.
Here, someone else said I don't think I look like Michael Fassbender. I see this guy a little bit more, Mr. Sharktopus. I mean, I guess maybe this guy.
Study Tau. Someone's telling
Tau,
me to
good
study
coin.
Tau.
Good coin.
Good coin?
Good coin.
Tau is good coin.
It's good
Chart
coin.
good.
These are the two options so far.
I don't know. I feel like you need him with a beard. Is there a picture of him with a beard?
Yeah, let's find him with a little facial hair.
What are the likes looking like now? I bet they're
Michael Fassbender with beard. I think that helps a little bit, maybe. I still don't know if I see it. I don't know if I ever really saw it.
this other guy is pretty spot on. So I don't.
Maybe a little more.
Yeah, no, that's all right. I think the other one's like way spot on at this point.
Yeah. The other one's for sure more.
Yeah. All right, what are we looking like here? Oh, we got a new YouTube picture.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
I guess I didn't make the cut on that. That sucks.
Wait, were you in the other one?
No, I wasn't on anything.
Okay, yeah, that's why Z just made the old
All right,
one
Z.
comic.
I see
I'll
you,
have
Z.
him. I'll have him add you.
It's all right. I don't really care. I'm just
Nah, you care a lot. It's fine. I get it. You care a lot. This is very upsetting. It's very upsetting. Let me
guys,
message him right
211
now.
likes. Come on. There's 400 of you guys watching right now.
All right, I just messaged Z. I just yelled at him and I told him how upset that made you to be excluded. All right.
Teray Cortan.
Is that wait? What's his name again?
Someone said you look like Teray.
Exotic names. What the fuck's his name? Teray Cortan. Wait, is that the guy I have up there?
I don't even know who this is.
Teray Cortan.
Max is going to star in. Oh my god. Never mind. I'm not going to finish reading that comment.
Gosh. You guys. Dude, what is Sharktopus?
It's you have a shark and an octopus like infused together and it just eats people. I used to love sci-fi movies like that though. I won't even lie. I mean there's just something when you talk about turning your brain off to watch a movie, that's one of them. There are a bunch of them like yeah, they fuse a bunch of different animals together. I used to remember them a lot more.
Yeah, that's uncanny, Max.
Is it a fit?
You could be a stunt double.
I see it. Yeah, I could see it. Make them a little smaller.
Oh, here we go. Sci-fi original films on Wikipedia. They have 2-headed shark attack, 3-headed shark attack, even 5-headed shark attack.
Wow.
Sharktopus versus the whale wolf. And Sharktopus versus Terracuda.
Oh no. Oh no.
Somebody just put these names in a randomizer and was like, yeah, we've got a trilogy.
Dude, another Crypto Maxi. Dude, you are way too kind, man. That's $100 today, bro.
Goat.
Literal goat. Unbelievable. My meme, your meme bullshit isn't the way, man. We're all going to win. Do the research, do the work. I agree. It's time that people do the research. It's time that they do the research. So, Tommy, how are you feeling about this soybeans chart right here? Do you think that we're going to get a breakout? Or, Tommy, do you think that we're going to get a Burj Khalifa breakdown on the soybean chart here, because I mean I could see it going, either way at this point. But I'd love to know your thoughts, Tommy. What's the open interest telling you about the soybeans chart?
About the soybean chart? Well, funding for soybeans has been quite negative for a pretty long period of time. So
you can get paid. You can get paid to long soybeans right now.
I have no idea, but I mean, just looking at this, I'd probably assume that we're going to do a fake breakdown into a fake breakout and then breakdown actually.
Okay. So I like that. How are the likes looking though? Let's see. We had some fun.
Check. It was 211.
235. All right. And you know what? It's not great, but Crypto Maxi has been so damn generous that he bought your guys' way out of more likes today. So
got lucky.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Someone in the comments said to look at the hell is this? Someone said to look at this chart. I don't know. I've never looked at this before. This is, they said look at others divided by total 3 minus others. So basically what you have here is you have small and mid cap alts divided by like 6 or 7 mid cap alts. So you have like in total, so the difference between total 3 and others is like others is everything outside the top 10 and total 3 is everything except for Bitcoin and ETH. So you basically have small and mid cap alts divided by like Solana, BNB, XRP. I get what you're trying to do here. What you tried to do here is you tried to create like a small cap versus like
cap.
You try to create like a small and mid cap altcoin pair against like mid caps or like large cap alts. So like what you're trying to say is like, are my shit coins going to outperform my like L1 shit coins? I don't know if I see it. I mean, it's interesting, right? I would say this is interesting how like there's been some pretty significant tops in this region. But I would say that you don't have a ton in this pair. Like you just don't have enough names. That's the problem with it. Like it's not, you have small, like a ton of shit coins divided by like 5 different large shit coins. That kind of works. I would say it's an interesting level. But I don't think this is that like profound of a pair, honestly. I just don't think you have a lot in here. Like I would rather see like if you wanted to create like a cool pair, I would rather look at like we could create it. If you wanted to create like what's going to perform better, my like small cap shit coins or my large cap shit coins, we could make a synthetic pair of like the top 20 by market cap altcoins, excluding Bitcoin and ETH, and then ratio that against others. And that would probably give you a much better look. Like, is it L1s or shitcoin time? But that would take a little bit of time to make, right? That would probably take like 20 minutes of us like manually typing it in, which we could do sometime if we started it earlier. But I don't know if I see a ton of merit in this. You're just not comparing it against much. Like you're literally comparing shit coins against like 3 different names.
Rather off just taking your individual name, just pairing it against ETH or something.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, this is a much cleaner chart to me. Here's right here. This chart. Others dominance. Like, I don't think you really need much more than this. It's basically telling you what you want to know.
What's the top again? Oh, that's others dom.
Others dominance, then Bitcoin in the middle, and then Bitcoin dominance down below.
Yeah.
And after we hit that golden pocket, Bitcoin goes into price discovery and Bitcoin dominance gets nuked.
We're at that time in the cycle. It's usually what happens next. So if you're betting on history, it's what got to be in altcoins here.
What do you got here, Louis?
This is another altcoin I'm in. I'm just looking at my alts. You know, a lot are in their basing formations, you know, like this is ACH, nice little payments token. I was just looking at FET, which like on the weekly, like look at this. Like, come on.
Have they merged with Ocean yet?
I have no idea. Like, I couldn't tell you one thing. Like, all I know is that FET is an AI play. I had no AI exposure, and I pulled up the weekly chart, put it on log, and I said, "Yeah, that's support." And then I bought, and I told the Discord that I bought, and we're up like 10%.
It's the old "show me the chart, I'll tell you the news."
Yeah, like I don't gotta know any of that. Like I used to do that. Like, and there's some stuff I will. Like there's some projects, like XRP. Like I like the fundamentals on XRP. You know what I mean? The bullish catalyst behind it, the company, Ripple, all that stuff. But 9 out of 10 times, like I'm buying the chart. You know what I mean? But you know, you got to use a little bit of both. You can't put yourself in a box. But I mean, like, look at this. Like, you got a weekly breakout, which got fully retraced into like, you know, a massive support here. And now we have a nice like weekly up candle. And you know, you never really
Sorry,
go
real
wrong
quick.
buying support.
Soybeans breaking down. I'm so sorry, but just like we drew it. I'm so sorry. I just had to show you guys. Just like Tommy mentioned, the funding was negative, and I mean, look at it. Sorry, back to you, Louis.
Yeah, no, stuff like FET. You know, what else? What else am I in that's not memes? Not much. Aave.
Okay, Louis. I've been hearing a lot of chatter online recently. People thinking there's going to be the death of meme coins and the rotation to fundamentals.
No.
Where do you fall?
I fall in. I invest in all of it.
Ooh.
Yeah, I have my memes and I have my fundamentals because listen, when liquidity comes and the altcoins start, you know, taking dominance back, like everything's going to go. I mean, they're going to take turns of what's stronger and what's not. But when you're in a real bull market, mostly everything's going to go up. It's just a matter of what's going to go up more versus what's going to go up less. But I mean, memes are here to stay. I'll tell you what. For me, I'm not big on like the micro caps and stuff like that, but you know, we found a nice, I found a low cap, you know, just about last week. And that thing has done multiples. We're up like 20, 30x on it. And it's a meme coin. It's like it's a beta meme coin. And there's a massive bid and there's a massive appetite for them for the right ones. Like this was a fair launch token. You know, there's no fear of like big whales coming in or the team just dumping on everyone and wrecking the chart. So you're seeing an appetite for memes still, but more or less the memes that are more legitimate. You know what I mean? Not scams, not your rug pulls. And people are starting to figure out the difference between the two and how those are structured. So yes, I mean, I think solid meme projects, however you want to call it. I know it's kind of funny to say that, but like you got to pick the right memes. It's about picking the right ones, not just like, let me just buy this picture because I think it's cute when you don't know anything about it. It's buying the strong ones, the ones that are set up correctly for the best success. But no, I mean, I think memes are going to continue to show strength. I think retail is going to come in and they're going to buy meme coins like they always do because it's just what, you know, that's just like the culture. That's what people are drawn to. But at the same time, I also think that there's a lot of fundamental plays and a lot of tokens that, you know, have utility, you know, give or take, if you want to like, you know, say it's like actual utility or it's not utility in like a crypto bubble that we live in. But there are other tokens that are at like massive supports or building massive bases that I think people are actually under allocated to. Like your Aaves here, like this was a clear basing, coiling a price. And now we're getting a weekly breakout. You know, and, you know, we were accumulating in $100 range in the Discord. You know, and we got like a 50% pump in just a couple days out of a blue chip crypto. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like a lot of people are underestimating or forgot like other cryptos other than memes can move too at the same time. But that's why I invested in all of it. You know what I mean? I want my meme exposure. I want my AI exposure. I want my RWA exposure. I want my payment sector exposure. I'm not going to sit there and be like, no, this is the niche this is the best niche and all the other niches are going to underperform. Like, I'm not that smart. I'm not smart enough to do that. So I get exposure to all of it. And then if I see, like, let's say one niche is outperforming the other, I know where to allocate moving forward. You know what I mean? You play the strong hand. But for me, I like to keep I mean, at the end of the day, I'm all invested in crypto. So it's diversification, but it's really not, it's all one asset class. So yes, that's my thought on it.
Sounds like a smart strategy to me, Louis. Tommy, let's get some thoughts from you, man. What's going on?
I like Ave. No, I mean, I've kind of been discussing it. Yeah. I mean, I feel like there's so many ways you can say it, but
I've heard you say Aave before.
Aave is my favorite way to say it. That has like a nice little flair to it, but I like this chart. If you're talking about, and I can't remember if we were discussing this on Market Check or if it was one of our Giga Chat calls, but one of the biggest differences between 2020, 2021 market cycle and the current one is that the previous market cycle had almost no supply overhang on anything, right? So it was significantly easier for buyers to raise the prices of coins. And we can still see that reflected through derivatives data now. When you look at open interest, look back at previous cycle coins, and you can see now there are a lot of coins that haven't made all-time highs on their USD pairs, but they have made all-time highs in open interest, signaling that there's been an equitable number of buyers this cycle than the last on some of the alts, but they're not making new highs. Why is that? It's because a lot of those coins from the previous cycle, they have a supply overhang this time around 3 or 4 years down the line that we didn't have in the past. And that's why I like these DeFi dinos, really the coins that have been around for 6 or 7, 8 years even as well, right? Like not just the DeFi dinos, but you know, an XRP, for example, to quote Jackus, a TRX. There's a reason that these coins are doing well, and it's because they don't have quite as many marginal sellers. And Ave is another one of those coins, right? Like the token's pretty much diluted, is pretty much fully diluted. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. It might not be 100% diluted, but I think most of the supply overhang on something like Ave is gone. So I'm more likely to favor that over, you know, one of these new coins of this cycle that has serious VC overhang coming in the next few years. Plus, I think the bankers are going to love Ave because it seems like Ave and Maker are probably like the go-to bet within DeFi for real world asset bid. I don't think Ondo is really going to be that sticky of an asset. Quite frankly, I think it's a VC scam, but Ave and Maker, maybe they were a VC scam 4 years ago. They've mostly diluted out a lot of that VC, those emissions. And I think it's one of those things that over time, there's going to be a lot more marginal buyers for these assets than marginal sellers. So I think like Ave is probably the best bet within DeFi for my money. Of old DeFi coins to come back and do well. I also look from a price action standpoint. I look at old Microsoft chart post tech bubble. It looks exactly like Ave, and I think there are a lot of structural resemblances to that chart.
My only hang up with Ave, and by the way, I actually love Ave. This is not about the platform.
Max, you use Ave, right? Like people are using it. Like
it's great. It's fantastic. Like it is an absolutely. Like Ave is what Ethereum is. Okay. Like Ave is the best of Ethereum. 100%. I love Ave. You have my full support. My only concern about Ave is what is the incentive to really buy that token? Just to have more voting power? You know, do you really want to just like buy yourself a board seat basically? And on top of that, Tommy, do you think that Ave will go on to make a new all-time high, or it will be like a Neo type of chart where it pumps hard but doesn't quite eclipse the previous cycle all-time high?
I think this will eventually make all-time highs again. I don't know what the time frame looks like on it necessarily, but I do think that this is an asset that, like, if you want ETH to resurrect, it has to be done through DeFi. Like I know everybody wants to talk about the boomers bidding ETH, and that will be great for the USD price. It is all about DeFi. People have to use the network and create that natural float on price, and also leverage within the ecosystem to boost ETH's price higher. So I do think ETH's resurrection is going to have to come through the resurrection of DeFi and new things being built on ETH. And Aave is kind of like at its core one of the most direct reflections of that.
Yeah, I could see it. Like, I have these complacency shoulders mapped out before. I had them mapped out before. Like, you see a lot, like we saw last cycle, like big running tokens in like 2017, 2018, in the 2021 bull run, where they had all-time highs from the previous bull market. They kind of do this, like lower high, never make a new all-time high, and then kind of go into a bear market again. And then the following one, they do another lower high. So, I mean, I probably, like, this is how I'm going to play it. Like, just straight up, like, Aave isn't like my big, like 10 to 15, 20x winner. This is let me put like a nice chunk of my portfolio in a safer bet. Let me get like a 2 or 3x out of it, a 4x maybe, because like from where we're accumulating, like I could see like that's like 130%. Like this is a 300%. So that's a clean 4x on a blue chip crypto. And it looks like this is going to be a leading altcoin, right? And then once I finish this move, I'm going to take those profits and take that safe 4x that I just pocketed, and then I could dabble in the riskier plays as the bull market's in full turn, because we all know that when the bull market gets going, the best performing altcoins are usually ones that launch during the bull market, like the altcoin mania phase, which so we could be like the best runners in this alt season or altcoin market cannot have been launched yet. You know what I'm saying? So the idea behind it is put some of your money or a good chunk of your money into a safer bet. Take those safer profits. It might not be a 10, a 20x, but guess what? That's why you size up on it. And then you take that and you turn it into the riskier plays. And you go from there. That's how I'm playing it. While at the same time, I have other riskier, smaller micro cap alts in the portfolio at the same time.
I think it's useful for people to remember that, because everybody wants to be max long beta, and at every Bitcoin or ETH dip, they're bidding beta. But you have to remember, like, you can start any bull trend being mostly overweight major assets like Bitcoin, ETH, and Solana. And then along the way, there will be a myriad of altcoin opportunities that were not present at the start of the bull trend that make themselves apparent along the way. And we always forget about this. Like, TIA was not ripping off the low, I think, for another 2 or 3 weeks after Bitcoin, ETH, and Sol made their initial breakout. Like, things like WIF didn't even pop up until December of 2023. So I think I do think that that's probably a strategy I'm looking to continue to implement into my own trading. Is there's nothing wrong with being overweight majors at the start of a bull trend, and you're actually not really missing that much opportunity by doing that.
I would argue to that point, that's probably the best strategy, right? Unless you're just full on aping, which I've kind of been doing this cycle low key. But you don't really miss out on anything by full porting Bitcoin from the bear market through the halving, right? You have like 18 months of just like a free Bitcoin long, and Bitcoin dominance goes up. And then you could go further out on the risk curve. And looking at look, this is how I'm looking at Aave, something like this. Like I'm looking at it against its ETH pair, because it's like, I just want it to outperform ETH. Like, I'm bullish ETH. I just want to outperform ETH. So like, if I saw something like this on Aave ETH, this is not Aave USD, this is Aave ETH. If I saw it kind of pop up here, break the structure to the upside, so like downtrend is over, right? Like, here's your downtrend right here. Okay, I'll make this big and red. Here's a downtrend, right? Like, clearly high time frame downtrend. If I saw a break of structure to the upside, and we pulled back into a potential higher low, then I would be looking for Aave ETH to do this. Because why hold Aave if you're not going to outperform that of Ethereum, right? It's ETH DeFi, right? All I want to see is a break of structure to the upside. You break the downtrend, which is, make it even bigger right here. And I would convert some ETH into Aave around here, right? Like I would be looking to, again, I want shift of market structure down, convert ETH to Aave, and then hopefully we're in an uptrend after what, 3 years of a downtrend, 4 years of a downtrend, depending on where you want to measure it from. But that's my thought with it. Like I'm sure you guys agree. It's just sort of potential ETH beta, right? Or maybe if ETH pulls a 2x, Aave will pull a 5x, and you outperform a little bit, and that's great. So
I think Aave is one of those coins I think has a pretty strong floor when you're talking about altcoin beta, though. I'd be largely because it's like it's almost like the safe haven asset of DeFi. Even a few weeks ago, during like the real reason that Aave started to get bid the hardest off that low was because, one, obviously people got liquidated into support, but also, you know, if there is any dislocation in DeFi, Aave is the first place that people are going to flock to. And it benefited directly from that. Momentum took it even higher, obviously, over the next 2 or 3 weeks. But it's hard to imagine that changing, because I think people just have enough trust in Aave because it's been through enough stress tests at this point that like it is probably the safest place to have your money in DeFi, which is not financial advice, right? That is not financial advice because it is decentralized finance. There is no truly 100%
but hang on, Tommy, it's not, but it survived ETH going to $880 in the bear market. Like, in my opinion, yes, it's not financial advice, whatever, but it is, in my opinion, and I had money in there during that time, and I couldn't get it out because I was like, I don't have enough collateral to like put in here. And I'm certainly not going to start adding collateral during a potential DeFi cascade. If it gets liquidated, it's done, right? But for it to survive FTX and that initial drop that everything had when ETH went sub $900, the fact that it's still standing today tells me that it's not going anywhere, right? Like that was also the ultimate stress test. It went through everything.
Like the next generation, like this cycle's DeFi already kind of failed or shit the bed. Like LDO, Pendle, like that was like in my, because I was positioning an LDO. Remember, I was positioning an LDO. Chart looked good. And literally, like right when I got fully sized in, the SEC came out and just sued them. So like that was fun. But like once I saw that happen, I was like, all right, like I'm not playing these. Like they might have some stuff going on behind closed doors I don't know enough about, or I don't have time to look into it. So let me look for what's the next best option. And that was Aave. And the market is showing that people have a lot more faith in an Aave as ETH beta for DeFi than any, even of these newer DeFi tokens, you know?
Yeah, totally.
What does Aave ETH look like?
That's what I was just charting over here.
Oh, that's what that was. Okay. Yeah. On the higher low is definitely where you would want to rotate ETH into Aave.
Yeah, like you see if you flip this level right here and then you get a little pullback, like let's flip the chart just for perspective, right? It's like, look at this chart right here. You know what I mean? Even here, it's not bad, but this chart looks heavy when you flip it like this. So I would probably be looking for wherever it comes from, a little pullback right into here. And then I think you can probably set something up like this, right? And you could hope to maybe do this, you know.
It just all goes back to not every play. I mean, we're in crypto, right? Like we're in the most volatile asset class in the world. So like not every play you take needs to be you know, a Hail Mary, you know, 100x or bust. You know what I mean? Like there's place for those type of plays in your portfolio, but there are also places in your portfolio for plays like this, like Aave, you know, your XRPs and stuff like that. And I think a lot of people actually learned that the hard way over the last couple of months, because if you were just holding all beta micro cap, you know, coins, you got burned. You know what I mean? If you didn't have anything to keep a base or you know, a fundamental base on your portfolio, that, you know, instead of dropping 60, 70, 80%, it only dropped 20 to, you know, 10, 15, 20, 25%, you know, you're in a way better place Not that you're not experiencing drawdown, but you're experiencing enough, drawdown, but enough to stay afloat and live to fight another day.
It's nice when you're, I mean, it's inevitable that everybody is going to be caught offside at one point. It's just nice when your drawdown isn't like 95% on one of your assets.
Yeah.
Like all you had to do was survive the last 4 or 5 months. And you did that by holding, higher micro cap blue chips. And you ate maybe 10, 20, 30% drawdown, but you didn't lose 75 to 80% of your money. And some plays like Aave, you made money. You know what I mean? Like that's part of finding the strong plays, the winners.
Story time here real quick. For people that want to be all in on meme coins because you can't hold enough beta. Young Tommy, which is not even really that long ago, but in crypto, it feels like forever. The start of 2021 was kind of like my introduction to crypto and everything that it had in store for me. And in May of 2021, as I'm sure if you are in the market, you are well aware, everything got absolutely decimated. Among the things that were left in the wreckage was my portfolio, because I had about, and I kid you not, I was a naive market participant at the time. This was like literally my first market cycle, not just in crypto, but really in any market. And I'd made a good amount of money because I was just like, I thought I understood the fundamentals. In reality, it was just beta to an alt season that was insane. I had about 80 to 90% of my net worth in shit coins that were high beta, like very, very high beta. I don't think either of them were even at like $1 billion market cap, which in May of 2021, there were a lot of things above that valuation. I was not holding any of them. And I got destroyed. And it happened within like less than 2 weeks before you can even blink. And I'm fine now, but we all kind of learn that lesson at some point, whether or not it's, whether or not you've experienced that over the last few months or you experienced it in previous market cycles. It's always good to remember that beta giveth and beta taketh away. So that completes my little story time.
I like that quote.
That was beautiful, Tommy. Thank you for sharing. Louis, you're on mute.
Yeah, my baby's moaning in the background, so if you guys didn't want to hear that. One day I'll have my own office. One day.
I'm getting my own office in about a week.
Nice.
Moving into a new apartment. So I unfortunately have to miss the BB get together that's happening, but I will be moving into a new apartment.
You should skip the apartment.
I agree.
All right. We're at an hour 30, guys. That's it for us today. Tommy, do us the honors.
All right, guys, I will send us home and into the weekend. We hope that you guys enjoyed the show. As always, we hope that you enjoyed this week's content and this week's shows. I know the market has been, I mean, I bet if we pulled up the weekly open, I can't imagine we're that far away from it on Bitcoin or Ethereum. I haven't checked. I'm just kind of guessing. But hopefully next week brings us a little bit more volatility, a little bit more clarity on the market. I was really hoping Jerome Powell would provide us a bit more of that today, but at least so far, that's seemingly not the case. But before you guys head into the weekend, I just wanted to run down a few things for you. A reminder that we have launched our official hedge fund, BB Wealth Management, guys. That is an SEC registered fund run by the BB team and focuses on digital assets in a way that looks to capitalize on their asymmetric history for upside returns while also managing the downside risk posed in any financial market. So if becoming an accredited investor or LP is something that interests you, we do have more information linked in the description of this video below. So make sure to check that out. Email us. We will respond to you as quickly as we possibly can, answer any and all of your questions, etc. But we also have the BB Academy, guys, which has been around for about 3 or 4 months now. And I'm going to continue to say it every day. We've gotten some phenomenal feedback from you guys, the viewers, the community thus far. It really is a great course. It's not often that you get to learn from so many different traders and how they approach the market, how they analyze things, and ultimately how we trade. So whether or not you're looking to kind of hone that educational base, or whether or not you're trying to take your trading to mastery level, there is a place for you in the BB Academy. We also, Max just had a new free course that he released in addition to that. So make sure to check that out as well. Gives you a good taste of BB Academy. And we will probably continue to whet your appetite with new videos and new Academy stuff coming down the road. So make sure to be on the lookout for that. Of course, as well, we have the BB terminal launching next week on Monday. Is it Monday or is it later in the week, Max?
Well, it's going to be Monday for our community, and then probably like Tuesday for everybody else. So yeah.
We're excited, guys. We're very excited. I've been playing around with it pretty much all week. I'm loving it, but we put a lot of effort into it, blood, sweat, and tears, to put all of this data, all of this useful trading information in one place for you as a trader or a market participant to get utility out of it. So yeah, one more or less than 1 week until you finally get to see the BB terminal. We cannot wait for you to see it. But thank you guys. Wait, I forgot to say the programming stuff, but either way, guys, thank you for tuning in to Market Check. A reminder that we are live Monday through Friday whenever the New York Stock Exchange is open. It's typical start time around 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We also have Market Talk hosted by the legendary King Wabi. If you are looking for a bit of a fix in the afternoon coming from Market Check, it's the perfect place to go to. So make sure to tune in for Wabi's show, which is also Monday through Friday as well. And yeah, stay subscribed and following our Twitter account, Because Bitcoin, so you can be notified not just when we schedule those spaces, but also when we go live. That's it from us, guys. Y'all have a great rest of your week, a fantastic weekend, and we will see you bright and early on Monday morning. Looking forward to it. But thanks again, guys.